Let's think about facts and opinions as we read The Important Book by Margaret Wise Brown. The Important Book. When you say something is important, that's how you feel. That's your opinion. The Important Book. The important thing about rain is that it is wet. It falls out of the sky and it sounds like rain and makes things shiny, and it does not taste like anything and is the color of air. But the important thing about rain is that it is wet. The important thing about grass is that it is green. It grows and is tender with a sweet, grassy smell. But the important thing about grass is that it is green. Let's look over at our circle map. We're going to look at facts and opinions. Let's go. The Important Book. Today for the Important Book, we looked closely at two sections. We looked about the important thing about rain. It says that the important things about rain it says that the important thing about rain is that it's wet. That is an opinion. If you hear someone say the important thing about is that's their opinion. That's what they think is important. They are making an observation. Let's look at the facts. What are the facts about rain? Well, it falls out of the sky. That's a fact. It is the color of air. That's a fact. It's their opinion that what's important about rain is that it's wet. Rain is wet. That's a fact. That's an observation that we can make. Rain is wet. If you say it's important that it's wet, that's your opinion. Let's look at another text to think more about facts and opinions. Okay, how the U.S. government works. So this is a longer book. We're just going to read a section. The table of contents. This is how I can find where I want to go. I want to find a section in my table of contents. I want to find the section. There it is. Your job. That's the section I want. Your job. Page 34. That's what I need to find. I'm going to go to page 34. Thank you, table of contents. 34. Aha. I also had a bookmark. I guess I could have used that too, Let's see. Your job. Your job. There is one very important reason why the U.S. government works. Wait a second. Important? Is that a fact or is that an opinion? Important. 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 It's an opinion. Important means that it's going to be an opinion. We're going to see the opinion because they think it's important. Not everyone thinks the same things are important. We have different opinions about that. Let's keep reading. There is one very important reason why the U.S. government works. It is the people of the United States. They do many important jobs to keep the government working. The people vote to choose the leaders of the United States. The people pay taxes to pay for the work the government does. The people serve in the Army, Navy, and Air Force to help protect the country. The people tell their leaders what kinds of laws they want. They also tell them what kinds of things the government can do to help the people. People do this by writing letters to their leaders. People also have meetings and gather together in large groups to tell their leaders what they want. All of the people of the United States help the government do its job. A government in which the people elect leaders and tell them what kinds of laws they want is called a democracy. And that's how the U.S. government works. Let's take a look at those pictures. That helps us understand a text. What are they doing? It says vote in that picture. It says vote in that picture too. And look at that, still voting. So I wonder what facts we found as we looked in this text. Let me get my fact marker. It's green. The facts were the actions, what the people did. Well, here it says, the people vote, the people pay, the people serve to help protect. The people tell their leaders what kinds of laws they want. The people do this by writing letters. The people have meetings, they gather together. Ooh, that rhymed. So all these things are what the people do. The people do, the people do. Those are actions of what the people do. So, it's a fact, they did it. Actions. Those are facts. Let's see. Opinions. Their values, what they value. Here, one very important reason why the U.S. government works is the people of the United States. So this author values the input or the perspective of people who tell the government what to do, of citizens. So when you have an opinion, it could be to share your values. This person values something different than someone else might value. Let's see what else. Perspectives. Your values and your perspectives, especially when you have government and politics, people have different perspectives. We don't all agree on the same thing. Perspectives. It's important in a government to have lots of perspectives. And that's my opinion. Let's try it together. What can we communicate? We can communicate facts. We can communicate observations. We can communicate behaviors. We can communicate locations. We can communicate actions. We can communicate opinions. That's what you feel. We can communicate values. We can communicate perspectives. We can communicate points of view. We can communicate observations. We can communicate judgments. Those are different ways of saying opinions. As you learn today, see if you can think about where you notice facts and where you notice opinions.